The foundation of true faith is obedience to God. It is not merely a command, it is the very essence of our relationship with Him. It defines our trust in His sovereignty, acknowledges His authority, and demonstrates our love and devotion. To obey God is to align our hearts and actions with His divine will, trusting that His ways lead to life, blessings, and righteousness. Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to listen than the fat of rams. That's 1 Samuel 15 and 22. This verse underscores that God values obedience over acts of religious rituals. True worship is obeying His voice, not just performing ceremonies. It's an active demonstration of trust, a heart committed to His commands. And if you are willing and obedient, you shall eat the good of the land. That's Isaiah 1 and 19. Obedience opens the door to God's blessings. When we submit to His will willingly, we partake in the goodness, provision, and peace that He intends for us. Disobedience is serious opposition to God's authority. It leads to spiritual blindness and separation from His favor. If you love me, keep my commandments. John 14 and 15. Obedience is the thermometer of our love for God. It is an active response to His love, living out a commitment that says, yes, Lord, your will be done in my life. What obedience means to obey God is to surrender our own desires and perceptions, trusting that His plans surpass ours. It involves daily choices, both big and small, that affirm His lordship. It requires humility, discipline, and unwavering commitment. Obedience is not burdensome. It's liberating because it aligns us with divine purpose and truth. Obedience to God results in divine favor and blessing. As promised in Deuteronomy 28, 1 and 2, obedience opens the windows of heaven. Peace and joy is in Philippians 4 and 7. It speaks of the peace that surpasses understanding, a fruit of living in obedience. Protection and guidance, we can expect assurance that trusting and obeying God will lead us in the right paths. That's Proverbs 3 and 5 through 6. The world calls us to follow fleeting pleasures, fame, and self-centered pursuits. But obedience to God calls us to a higher standard, one rooted in truth, righteousness, and eternal values. When we choose obedience over worldly influence, we declare that God's kingdom is our ultimate authority. We reject the temporary for the eternal, showing that obedience to God is better than following any societal norm or popular trend that leads us away from His truth. So, in conclusion, obedience is the pathway that transforms believers into vessels of righteousness, blessing, and purpose. It's a testament of our love for God and a demonstration of true faith. So, trust enough to obey, even when the road is uncertain. Because in obedience, we align our lives with God's divine plan, where His will becomes our joy, His ways our guide, and His promises our inheritance forever. This is your Lunch with God.